Ladies and gentlemen, we've been robbed. Yes, robbed. Not really. It's Connor, and we're talking about the Great Crusade, but more specifically in my best video essay voice, the Great Crusade and its consequences. Alright, I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny. But, yeah, so this is this was a sort of, I don't know why, but I was thinking about it because when you're reading the heresy books in order, the Crusade's still happening. So, of course, there's a lot of variables we see in the Crusade that we don't obviously now see in 40K and the Dominus era. We don't see a lot of that stuff. Technology is a really good example of this. A lot of lost armor, a lot of lost schematics for various weapons and other warfare utilities you could really ascribe to things of that nature. But the main thing that I think we got robbed of the most, and I say robbed in the lightest sense, we didn't get robbed, but it's just something to think about. We got robbed of Xenos. Yes, I know you're thinking, Connor, who gives a damn about Xenos? I do. I care about the little guy. I care about the billion-year-old Eldar. It's me. I care. Because they're interesting, right? So obviously, if we're going back in 30K, we have mega arachnids, the Xenos that were in Fulgrim. Oh my god, am I forgetting what they're called? God, guys, I forgot what they're called, but we have them as well. The mega arachnids were a big one. Every Crusade story you hear, there's these new groups of aliens, and I feel like the Crusade robbed us of some particularly interesting stories we could have had in 40K, or even possible miniature factions, if you will. But when we have mega arachnids and Xenos that are basically sentient in the way that they are alive and have emotions, but obviously aren't sapient, they have no complex thoughts and such. Obviously, I'm not talking about them. I would talk more about the aliens that we see in Fulgrim and even in Eisenhorn, the Ceruthi. Those are aliens I find interesting because they may not have to be even factions. They could be hireable races that you would see as mercenaries, or things you would almost akin to how the Tau use auxiliary races in their campaign conquests. You could see this in what would be present day 30K aliens. But of course, the Emperor had to say, if you're not human and you don't, and then, it doesn't rhyme with human, then you're unfortunately getting the big old bazooka, Dark Age technology gun that retcons you out of existence. And it's just a thought. This isn't a serious video, guys, but it's just something to think about. We lost not only, of course, knowledge, and knowledge is the thing that is most prevalent in 40K, the conquest of knowledge and the loss of knowledge. That's all fine and good. That's a video for another day. I don't want to talk about that. Just the aliens that were just demolished along the way. We could have had a lot of interesting stories in present day 40K that have just been absolutely demolished thanks to the Emperor. Yes, the Ceruthi are sort of a bad example because we get to see them in 40K. And yeah, they may not be the best example, but they're an example of what could have been as well from 30K into 40K. To see Chaos Xenos in action, it would be awesome. It'd be really cool. And I made a video about that, about saying how I love, Chaos and Xenos, and it would be a really good idea. But even stepping off that train of thought and hopping on to another train car of thought from yours truly, it just would have been cool to have more aliens in the setting. And obviously, the Crusade absolutely demolished a lot of the other minor alien races that could have possibly been in 40K. Of course, there's other exceptions like the Hrud, but they do their own thing. And then there's the Crave, and they're kind of cool, but they're not super active anymore because they've pretty much been hunted to extinction if you've read the Lions Primarch book. But just a cool thought, y'all. I just wanted to talk about what was stolen from us, what the Emperor so unrightfully stole from his people. It's just a fun little, tidbit. I don't know, guys. This is something I wanted to talk about. And if any of you guys have any thoughts on this, he didn't take anything from us, he did the right thing, or, you possible alien stuff you want to talk about, feel free to. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I am out of here.